Shalom, and thank you for watching this video from HaDerekh Synagogue. I hope you are liking the content we are bringing you. If you could like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, that will greatly help us. And to further help bring great content to you from our teachers, if you could please consider to donate to HaDerekh Synagogue. The link is in the description box below. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, and it sounds like this: and for the sins for which we are liable for the 4 death penalties inflicted by the court: stoning, burning, beheading, and strangling. Those are kind of rough. So what I wanted to do is kind of go through those 4 so you can kind of gauge yourself. Now what's interesting is some of these things that have a death penalty, they will make your skin crawl, and kind of makes you wonder who would even be tempted to do these things. But apparently they do. But anyway, the first one is stoning, skila. There are 18 different things that somebody can get skila, or that you can receive skila. By the way, skila, just so you know, it's just not people throwing rocks at you until you're dead. What they would first do is throw you off a precipice, but not too far, because you don't want to make a big mess that somebody has to clean up. So they would throw, say, like a story and a half, something like that. And if you survived, then the people who testified against you would throw rocks on your chest from there. I mean, big rocks. Everybody says, "Yay, Torah observance," but you know what? This is where the rubber meets the road. It is not a fun thing. Blasphemy, basically cursing God. If you're an idolater, you get to endure skila. One who gives offspring to Molech. Again, that's another type of idolatry, but it's very specific. From what I recall from some of my rabbis, when you gave your child to Molech, you actually took your young child and put them on the arms of a hot, burning idol and let the poor thing die. Again, skin crawl. How about witchcraft and necromancy? Yeah, desecration of the Shabbat. That would be public, but you have to have it has to be a public violation with warning. And again, all these assume that you have been given ample warning. Okay? One who curses his father or mother. Incest with stepmother. Or your father's wife. And that has to be, it's because if your uncle died and did not have any children, then Yabum could be performed, and then your father then would try to produce a son for his dead brother. So that's why it says, is very specific, your father's wife. Incest with daughter-in-law. Homosexual intercourse, specifically male to male. Bestiality, a man with a betrothed maiden. A seducer to idolatry. A city led to idolatry. And that's when the individuals are judged. Okay. The rebellious son, a false prophet who leads somebody to idolatry. And some of our brothers would believe in Yeshua would qualify for skila. False witness causing capital conviction. That's a rabbinic interpretation. All right, that does not come from Torah. And then striking one's parents. Now, with that one, the Talmud also in most cases seems to assign henech to that, and I'll explain henech in a second. Okay, burning. Srefa is the Hebrew word for that. It is not burning at the stake, as the United States used to do. Actually, I guess it wasn't the United States, it was in the 1600s or whatever. People used to burn witches at the stake. And that's a terrible thing. But actually, what it is, it's a little bit worse. It's pouring hot molten lead down your throat. And the Torah gives only 2 cases, and the Talmud expands it to 3 more. First one is if the daughter of a priest who has completed the 2nd stage of marriage commits adultery. Very specific. Not somebody who's engaged, but somebody who's actually married. A man who takes a woman and her mother. A man and his daughter. Now that's not specifically mentioned in Torah, but it's a rabbinic, that's rabbinic. A man with his daughter's daughter or son's daughter. And that is from a Gezerah Shava. Man with his mother-in-law, mother of his mother-in-law, or mother of his father-in-law. The beheading, or death by sword, Sias, or HaDerekh. So when the Torah says execution is described as he shall surely be put to death, it's by the sword. And that is murder. And all the residents of an idolatrous city, and Midianites and Amalekites. Strangulation, and that is henech, strangulation. And what they would do with that is they would have a rope and it would go around your neck, and one person would be standing over here, another person would be standing over there, and they would pull. Committing adultery with another man's wife when it does not fall under skila. Striking a parent, remember I said it was, so that's where it's at. Cursing a parent. Kidnapping and selling a fellow Jew. False witness in capital cases. If he sought to have another executed by henech, he receives henech. Other incestuous or forbidden relationships where the Torah says they shall die. All those are included in here. I'm looking through my notes here. All right, so the simple overview. Skila is the most severe and the most explicit. Serefa, there's only 2 cases in Torah, 3 rabbinic. HaDerekh, that is murder and the idolatrous city. And then henech is basically the default. If it says you will die from that. So when we read, actually let me go back to that. For the sins for which we are liable for the 4 death penalties inflicted by the court: stoning, burning, beheading, and strangling. And hopefully we're not guilty of too many of those.